Hey, pond pirates. What's up, guys? We are back out at our favorite place on planet Earth so far. And Dylan and Gary came with us. I don't know if y'all can see them through the trees right over there. Dylan got first. Well done. All right, now find that 5-pounder. What's up, guys? So we got chased off of Lot G again because we have a crazy storm coming in, and that's Bo over there in the car waiting for me. I don't know if y'all can see him. Hey, Bo. It's pretty gnarly. I mean, there you go. Like, yeah, it's been a nutty storm system that's come through like the last couple days, and this is twice now in like a week that we've been chased off of Lot G.
Yeah, that's a giant. It's a giant, boy. Welcome back, guys. Yet again, we get chased out of there with the storm.
Everybody caught fish. It was a good night. Yeah, it sure was.
Unfortunately, Dylan lost a absolute giant.
Yeah, he did. And what was he fishing from?
A new kayak.
A new kayak.
Very
he
nice.
Sure was. Yak
Very
Attack
nice.
kayak. Yeah, look at him. He's going to show me how he can stand up in his kayak and fish. That's awesome. He's going to talk me into getting one. Yeah, it's a 12-footer, and I think he said it's 41 inches wide. It's almost 4 foot wide stable. He was standing up in it.
It's a very nice setup.
Hold back. It's deeper. I don't know if y'all can see him.
Is it a giant?
Is your pole gone? Is it just a fish?
That was an 8-pounder.
Oh my god.
That was a good splash, and I can tell you that. I can see on this side.
Wow, that sucks.
Yeah,
And he did everything right. I mean,
He
other
sure did.
than trying to hoist the fish up.
Tried to hoist it up by the main line, and he fought the fish really well. He let the fish do the work, and he was fishing around structure too. He was fishing around two. They're pretty much, I want to say they're suspended logs, kind of in a cross pattern.
Right.
But
Yeah.
it's gonna, you know, and if he was in 8 foot of water, then these things might be sitting, you know, maybe 2-3 feet off the ground. It's not too terribly deep where he was at, but like Bo said, he did everything right. We were watching him from across the pond. He did everything right.
Yeah, he fought it
And
well.
He
and
fought it well.
pulling the
And
kayak around and everything. but
what test did he say you had on?
I think
14?
he said 12 or
12,
10 or
12
12 or
10,
something.
yeah, something like that. He had
So he
the
had
right
suspension
setup
line.
and a new St. Croix Mojo bass rod. So he had
On
the
your
setup
backbone
on
and
a
all
dial reel. He had the right setup. He followed the proper just breathe and
keeping that angle, keeping that line
keeping the
tight.
angle. He kept it tight, but he saw the fish and it came up and it flipped and it splashed by the tip of the boat, and he saw the size of it. And any angler out there knows that feeling.
Yeah, he
especially
threw everything to the wind.
He did, and I think that's the biggest
fish in
fish.
the boat.
I think that would have been his PB.
Oh yeah, it may have been bigger than mine. You know, who knows? But
I think it was his PB. But
we all know that feeling of losing a nice big fish,
oh, yeah.
and then you're just like, you know,
you gotta go for that bottom lip.
grab a hold of them,
or the dip net. Yeah, and
by all means necessary, grab that fish.
Yeah, exactly. He didn't have the dip net with him, but grab that fish. Don't grab the line, because you're either gonna hurt yourself or like what happened today, it snapped off. I thought he kicked it, and that's why I asked Dylan if he broke the line or not.
Yeah, I watched him. He did a motion like he was, you know, I could tell he was grabbing the line.
Because he saw the
fish. Sometimes you can get away with that, sometimes you can't. But my rule of thumb, I think, is like I'm not gonna try to boat flip anything that's over 4 pounds. I'm just
Right.
not gonna risk it. I mean,
Right.
there's setups out there that can do that by far, I'm sure, but
Now, if you can get your hands on the fish, get your hands on the fish.
right.
Whether you got to scoop him up by the belly or you got to grab that lip and pull him in. So
Unless of course you're
Yeah.
using like 40 or 50 pound braid. And
yeah,
you
but
gotta
still,
spout enough rod,
then you're putting all
picking
that
'em up.
stress on your rod, right? I trust the Emperor to do that.
That's what I'm saying. You got the right
But
setup,
I would still
maybe,
I'd
but
still be nervous doing it. I'm not gonna lie. So,
get you a net. Don't take the chance, or just
that's
reach
it.
down there and grab a hold of that.
Yeah,
fish.
it's like Bo said, get a net, because we got the fray bill and it's telescoping, and I want to say it was like $15.
Get a net if you can get a net. If you can't, then just grab that fish. Don't chance it by grabbing hold of your line.
We're gonna move on to some new plastics that we tried tonight, and we had success on 2 out of 3. I'm gonna start with the one that we didn't have any luck on.
Yeah.
And
Walk us through that big bad boy.
yeah, so if you go to in here, I'm gonna give you.
I got the other.
Do you? Okay, I'm gonna give you those, and then we'll talk about those together. So, because we both use those.
Yeah.
Those
are awesome, by the way.
So, on Instagram, which is where Bo and I are going here as of lately, to try to find some guys that are, when I say local, know that I mean made in America, because I didn't realize how much of the lures that we've gone and purchased on a weekly or daily basis are imported. Not that that's a bad thing, they work, but during a time like now, where when you go to the store and I would say about 70% of the aisle in the fishing aisle is just gutted because everybody's trying to get outdoors and find stuff to do, and fishing's a great thing. It's helped the outdoor industry. This COVID thing has, believe it or not, it's pushed license sales. As wild as it is, and again, we've talked about how unfortunate it is that it takes a pandemic to get people out.
Well, I mean, good on them for getting out.
Exactly.
But at the same time, for those of us that have always appreciated it, and we do this more seriously than most people. It's kind of a big deal for us to go to Walmart or wherever. And
it is.
You can't
and
get stuff.
well, and that's the thing. So we started to get kind of frustrated about that. We started getting into the Instagram game. A lot of these guys that you see come across your channel are local bait makers, and again, by local, I mean in America, continental United States.
It's kind of a broad statement, but you're not wrong.
It is. You're not. Yeah, they're local. I mean, they're local compared to what you would go to Walmart and buy. Well, Paul Krug Custom Baits was the first one that we ordered from, and it was about 3 months ago. And again, like Bo said, we pretty much forgot about them. The one thing I remembered was these bullfrogs. These are soft plastic, hand-poured bullfrogs. They're 6 inches long. They've got a nice flat white belly because again, he hand pours them. So that's, you basically order them on back order, and they're in bulk. Okay, so it's a bag of 25. Right, and I think these were like $15, $17 for 25 of these things, which is great. It's less than $1 of soft plastic. They've got a lot of stretch to them, and they're good and durable. He's got a pre-molded hook slot in there, so you only come through the nose and out the back, and you don't have to skin hook this thing.
No.
It floats. There's not a lick of salt in it. That's what gets me. No salt in this lure whatsoever that I can taste. That I can taste. But it's, dude,
I thought you knew, like you talked to the guy. No, there's no salt.
I will bite one just to see how much salt is in it, because then I can kind of tell how to fish it, what column it's going to sit in. No salt in this that I can taste. A lot of black flake in there. It's green pumpkin up top, all the way down. And then he's got that white underbelly, which is a great two-tone. That's a nice solid color. It's natural.
It's gonna get bit.
It's gonna get bit. And we threw them on tonight, and sure enough, they float. The legs are hinged, so they've got some nice movement to them.
Do you have a name for those?
They're just the bullfrogs. That's what they are. Yeah, it's the bullfrogs. And if you go to if you go to Paul Krug's Instagram and check out some of these lures, because some of the stuff that he's made, you almost do a double take, because what he'll do is he'll either in the top frame or the bottom frame of the split frame picture, he'll put like the actual live animal, and then he'll put his version of it that he's made into a lure. And there's a couple of minnows that I've had to do a double take, because for a split second you can't tell which one's the lure. He's quite gifted at what he's doing. So Go ahead and get into that one. I want them to know what you did
So
tonight.
these guys are going to be the Hulk. This is a 5-inch creature bait. So,
Yeah,
I mean, this is a substantial
Let's show them in
snack here.
comparison. Again,
6-inch on those.
6-inch bullfrog.
Yeah. So, you know,
Here, hold
not
that right
much
there.
difference, but you can see it.
Yeah, I mean that's a legit creature
That's a bait there for sure. And you could, again, you could fish this on top, like you said, because they float. Or
They
you
do
could
float.
even
Yeah, you're right. And no salt that I've tasted.
Texas rig it or whatever you want to do with it.
Yeah.
That's how we fish it.
That's how we fish it, exactly.
Weightless and on the top. And so yeah, this guy is the Hulk, and when paired with at J Hicks jigs,
Those things are money, man. You gotta hold it up.
I don't know if you guys can see
Back it up.
all the green and stuff in here, but they go together perfectly. And again, even in the dog days of summer, it's hot as it's gonna get. But this
Tell
year,
them what you did tonight with it.
this is
Go ahead and hook that one up. Show them how you had it rigged up, because I'll tie that one on next time.
yeah. Here, go ahead. You can buy.
No, tie it on like you did. You're the one that got a fish on it, and it's because like Bo was saying, sometimes I'll bite like a 1/2 inch or so off just to get it up on the collar a little better to hold it. But what were you just saying
What's that?
about a way to secure that on there? Which we need to keep
because
some of that in our bag.
It's so soft that I think it might be easy for it to come off easier than some other plastic. So I was just thinking, why don't we just dab a little super glue on the head of this thing?
See,
and hold it for about 30 seconds.
Right,
And then go fish.
And like Bo said, a lot of times, worst case scenario, you're going to get a bass that short strikes it and they're going to take one of the claws off.
Yeah.
But if you fish it slow, you fish it finesse, that one claw still has enough movement you may produce. But what it's going to do is it's going to keep that lure, that soft plastic, from pulling off of that collar, which is what puts the biggest stress on that soft plastic when you puncture it. Like Bo said, put a little super glue on there. It'll bind that. It'll bite a little better. Still be easy to clean off to change it, but your hookup ratio and your lure, it'll make it last a little bit longer. Yeah.
You know, who knows how much, but it'll help.
That's a good idea. We need to get some.
Why not?
We need to get some super glue.
Anything you can put in your favor, or
All right.
a feather in your cap, so to speak.
Touche. Show them
Take
what
off.
you did and explain how you fished that.
Well,
Tell them what you did.
I know that you usually, and a lot of people will, cut off a bit just to get a smaller profile when it's harder to get that bite. You know, and you're trying to get something that's a lazy, not moving a whole lot of fish anyway if you're fishing this. But I did not. I didn't trim it at all. I put it straight out of the bag right onto the jig, and I caught my first jig fish. But not only that, I was able to skip this up underneath the dock, kind of like a sidearm cast. And sure enough, it sank to the bottom, picked it up a little bit, thump.
Nice. Got him on the dock. Look at the flip. Get him in the boat. Nice fish.
Biggest.
That's biggest so far.
First jig fish.
Get another one.
That's awesome, man.
Well done, buddy. That's awesome. Gosh, customers for life. I swear I'm buying all my jigs from him. I'll still buy Z-Mans because they got a thinner blade and I can use them in a little more finesse. I can fish them slower, but man, beautiful fish, buddy. Well done. You definitely got big fish. Yep. See you, little guy. There he goes.
J Hicks jigs and creature bait.
Wait, was there a creature bait?
There was. He got it.
Oh, that was the
Yep.
the
The
Hulk,
Hulk, yeah.
the big one that I'm using.
Yep.
You gotta be kidding me. So he swallowed that one.
So it is.
Yeah, because we were
awesome.
probably
But again, that is just a match made.
10 or 15 feet away from the dock, and he had, sitting down, mind you, he had just a perfect little flip, and it ran about 18 to 24 inches up underneath the dock, and he just let it drop. You said that, what a flip, or what a cast. And he sat there for a second. About the time I turned around, he's snatching up. But
Cool,
guys,
cool experience.
I mean, yeah, Walmart sells stuff like this, Academy sells stuff like this, but you just can't find them right now. That hook is sticky.
And why not support people that are from the same community, same country?
These are $3 a piece, and I mean, we go over J Hicks jigs so much because, again, I'm a chatterbait junkie, and Bo's a finesse junkie. And when you go to Walmart right now,
I'm whatever they're biting junkie. Let's just make that clear.
When you go, touche. When you go to Walmart right now and you look for certain skirt patterns or you look for certain just setups, period, it's hard to find certain setups because everybody's going after them right now. Hook profile smaller.
Yeah.
So you've got a better hookup ratio. This is one thing I didn't notice until I started playing with the jigs. Is his weed guard.
Very subtle.
It's a lot of times you got to trim them because they're so stiff that you're missing a lot of hook sets. This is the softest. You're gonna come through any kind of brush really, but the slightest little bite, and you're gonna catch a peckerhead or two on these because the weed guard is so forgiving. The hook's also smaller.
It is.
You're not losing anything on the gauge or the size of the hook, the number of the hook, but they're good looking baits.
Again, there's even baits out there that you could broaden your fishing horizons with that they don't even have at Walmart.
They don't.
Any of those places.
Tell them about those.
No, you take that one over. You were the first to fish that.
Take that one though. Come on, baby. Come on, baby. Come on, baby.
She hit him.
Oh, I love this cove.
Good job. Here, tell these people.
Sorry guys, yeah, hey, sorry y'all, I missed the camera button, but there's the fish. It's my first fish tonight. Thanks, fella. That's for you, Mr. Lake Fork. But anyway, it's the new Paul Crew trailer on there, on the old Z-Man. Had to go with the old classic Z-Man.
So those are awesome. I love the ribs in them. I like the, you noticed earlier that as a trailer behind the chatterbait, you're not going to get a whole lot of, you know, the action you would get out of it had you were fishing it by itself. Because you got that blade in front of it that's causing it's disturbing the water in front of it, so it's not going to do how it would be doing.
And what Bo's,
so I had to point that out.
And see, that's one thing again. I look at something and say, why isn't it doing this? Right. But my co-captain, best friend buddy here, is the one that actually, he breaks down the
well, I just think to look at it like, have I experienced
how
anything
it works.
with this? And this is why that isn't working.
Right, me, I'm the ADD one, definitely. Anyway, so see what I mean? Chasing a rabbit. But what Bo was getting at is if you look at the tail,
it's different than most of your standards.
It is. It doesn't have that thin little piece right here that connects it to the body, which is good in a sense because that's some good elasticity, and awesome, you're not going to lose the paddle as often on a short strike. You got a little bit more there. You still can because, again, that's a beefier tail paddle. Yeah. But you look at it's a soft plastic. There's not a whole lot of rigidity to this thing, and I'm holding it by the front, and it's
look
pretty
how
much
it hangs.
It hangs.
It's gonna have like that.
And again,
slow, disoriented wobble to it.
It is.
It'll probably have some body roll.
It does, and that's what I noticed. And what's great about it is it complements the chatterbaits. The one thing that caught me on this guy was he makes trailers, swim bait trailers. And again, I'm a big chatterbait fan, so I'm always looking for different trailers to put on these things. And we are devout Rage Swimmer fans because they work, they produce fish. Whether you fish them by themselves on an underspin, you fish them weedless and weightless, which is where I think we've actually caught the most fish on that lure. Yeah. Or I bite the head off of them and then I throw them on the back of a swim bait.
Or throw it on a spinnerbait.
Or throw it on a spinnerbait. Oh yeah. Golly, that's a fish. That's a much better fish too. And he caught it on the fall too. Golly, loves it. That's a better fish. Can you see him? All right then. I love it when we buy lures that work.